watching those linebackers. They commit down. He pulls it out. What a great route by Devontae Smith. He wins on the quick slant, but a great read by Tua on that first play. Seeing those linebackers come down, told him to pull that ball out and make the throw.
A 50-yard gain. Tide threatened immediately. This is Harris. Plows straight ahead. Big question whether or not they can slow down the run. And then, of course, the
last year in the championship. You know, he had a hamstring in the Missouri game. The month off has really helped him. He's fast. He's back to 100%, the speed, the vertical threat, and here shows what he can do after the catch on the quick slant.
So many explosive big play weapons for Tua to choose between. 2nd and 9. Harris breaks a tackle right at the line and falls forward. Will set up a 3rd down and 5.
Well, if you're Ruffin McNeil, the defensive coordinator who took over for Mike Stoops after he was let go after the first Texas game, you got to be thinking we've got to try to attack the line of scrimmage. We've got to take our chances. We can't sit back and let Tua just look into this defense and do what he needs to do. We have to try to be aggressive. Let's see what they do here on this first 3rd down of the game.
Not showing pressure pre-snap. Don't bring it. Tagovailoa, easy pitch and catch. It was Harris out of the backfield. He's got a 1st and goal.
They set back in zone, and the good thing about Tua, like all great quarterbacks, anticipates the coverage and gets the ball out. He's reading this corner right here. When the corner settles and sits back, he knows he's got his back out in the flat, and he gets it out there right away. Especially since it's into the boundary, you don't have time to wait and hesitate. Great read, quick read, and he throws an accurate ball to give Harris a chance on 3rd down.
Bama devastating down here. OU really struggles in these situations. Almost never are they able to keep a team out of the end zone when they get close.
In fact, they're dead last in the entire country. 130th in red zones and touchdown efficiency. And here comes Alabama, one of the best.
And there goes Harris. They clog the middle. He's knocked down. Now is a scramble for the football. Did it come out? Oklahoma says it's a turnover at the 1. Kenneth Murray came running out of there with the football.
Chris, Damian Harris was fighting to get yards. Curtis Bolton was 18.
Turnover.
Yep. But Curtis Bolton got in there, and Damian Harris kept fighting for yards. And by fighting for those yards while he was almost down, we'll have to see if his knee touched, but the ball came squirting out. 18 does the job. I think they're going to take another peek at this one, obviously.
You saw Harris stretching the ball out as his legs were getting near the ground.
See, he's trying to fight for those extra yards. I think he's down.
I don't know. It's very close. You see the ball.
I mean, still clearly had possession. Yeah.
The key is you lose sight of the ball for a split second, but then you see it again.
Come back, yeah.
And he's got control of it, so he's down.
There were so many very close replays in the Cotton Bowl between Clemson and Notre Dame early in the game.
Especially early.
Now we've got one here.
That were pivotal.
Yeah. Harris, he doesn't fumble. These Alabama running backs flat out don't fumble.
And by the way, you talk about what Oklahoma has to do defensively to kind of stay around in this game and have a good night against Tua. The 3 things are creating a turnover, getting red zone stops, and 3rd down stops. I mean, if they're able to hold up here, that would be huge.
At the review, the ball carrier's right elbow was down prior to the ball coming loose. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1.5-yard line.
Just what you guys figured, and so a reprieve for Harris, who goes back out there on this 3rd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, and now the defense that came up with a big stop, and all the emotions, now they got to come back out on the field, and the ball is inside the 1-yard line. That's a tough blow emotionally. Now they got to bow up here on a big 3rd down.
7th play of this opening drive. Harris barrels in. Tide draw first blood. The huge play to Devontae Smith on the opening play for 50 yards set the stage, and then it's power football.
Yeah, the right side blows up the Oklahoma defense. Actually get a little penetration once again from Curtis Bolton, but that running a style of Damian Harris gets him low enough and strong enough to be able to fight through the arm tackle and take it into the end zone.
Oklahoma won the toss, chose to play defense first, and that is doubly deflating. Kurt, not only do you give up an opening touchdown and put immediate pressure on the offense, but you thought you had a takeaway.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You get that stop, you're over on the sideline high-fiving each other. They do the review, and now you got to go back out onto the field. But, you know, Oklahoma, it's early in this game. They had such confidence in Kyler Murray. This is their kind of game. Not to say that they intentionally give up touchdowns. They're just used to that being the kind of game. And they knew coming into tonight, this is going to be a game that potentially can go back and forth. I think it is important because you're trying to establish some confidence. You need to have a response here from the Oklahoma offense.
11th time this season that Saban's offense has scored on the opening possession. The Sooners have also been a fast starting crew. They're used to this position of needing to score a whole bunch of points. You won't be rattled.
He welcomes the challenge.
The freshman, Joseph Bulovas, to kick it away. At the goal line, Trey Brown handles the place kicking, the kickoff, and the punting. One of only two guys doing it, and the returner is just ran into. And the ball is going to be down at the 45-yard line. That was Jalen Waddle. He's still down, as is Job, one of his blockers.
I think one of his own players ran into him. It looked like his own player to me.
Good look.
Right there.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't kick catch interference.
Well, guys.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3, Maria, to start as Jacobs carries for a short gain and the first down. He starts very slowly on the treadmill. You check out the lateral movement, and again, the point of that surgery is not just to get him back on the field quickly, it's to make that left ankle more stable and, Kurt, less susceptible to high ankle sprains. You would have loved to have that operation when you were playing.
Yeah, I would have. I actually had a very severe ankle early in the year, my senior year, and it just kind of lingered the entire year. This procedure is incredible, and if it holds up, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of coaches and GMs around the league in the NFL. They're going to take a look at that.
Jacobs gets loose on the edge and is slung out of bounds after a solid gain by Kenneth Murray.
That procedure, you know, some people talking about how Tommy John procedure kind of got started and what it became. Think about how many high ankle sprains, whether it's, you know, NFL, MLB, NBA, tennis, you name it.
Jalen Hurts had the same thing this year.
Yeah.
Tackle Jonah Williams has gone through it as well. Developed in Birmingham, that's why it's an Alabama procedure. Tagovailoa, play action, slings it far side, and it's a strike to Irv Smith. The tight end dragged down at the 25. Another first down.
Boy, Irv Smith is an athletic tight end with wide receiver skills. He's matched up here against Trey Brown, who's their best cover man. How about that route? He gives him a kind of at the top of the route, a stem inside move, gets separation, and there's the accuracy and the timing from Tua. But a great route there by the big tight end, Irv Smith, at 6'4", 260 pounds.
You fake it to Najee Harris and get it to Jacobs in space again. Gets a block, still fighting. It's another first down, tied back in the red zone.
When you start to look at this accuracy, Alabama fans know this feels and looks different from Tua. I mean, he's in rhythm. He's getting the ball out. Good effort there by Josh Jacobs. And the weapons just keep coming. Now Najee Harris steps in. You know, I think because of this heat, humidity, Mike Loxley and Nick Saban are rotating backs a little bit more than they normally would because of how hot it is here.
Najee Harris, who averages almost 7 yards a carry, he takes his turn. He's got the football. And the man who was on the field in the crucial moments of that win over Georgia gets an early touch here.
Yeah, he wants to get his hands on the ball. This has not been the kind of year that he envisioned. He ended up averaging close to 7 yards a carry, but with Damian Harris and especially Josh Jacobs playing so well, his carries diminished somewhat, but incredibly capable. He will more than likely become the face of that backfield next year.
A second critical early replay review. If it's incomplete, it's 4th down, so we'll bring in Dave Kataya. What did you see from those angles so far, Dave?
Well, remember the rule is he's got to survive the ground when he goes down. You got a foot down, but when he hits the ground, that ball moves. Watch it right here. Now you got a step number 2, hits the ground. He's coming down.
On the field is a catch for a touchdown. The previous play is under review.
Step.
Boy, that
did he
is
lose
so
possession, though? Even though it moved, Dave? Did he lose possession of the ball?
Well, take a look at this. The ball moves to me.
The hand strength involved in holding on with Brown swiping his arm.
To me, it's a juggle.
How about that coverage by Brown? Everything. The Brown's coverage, the throw by Tua, and the effort by Ruggs to try to go up and make a catch on it. I mean, it's great. All 3 guys did their job.
First 10
How
minutes
does he come
of this
down
game,
with that ball, by
First
the way?
10 minutes, Kirk, there have been 2 monstrous replay reviews here.
Yeah. Like
the first one went Alabama's way.
Like you said, if this is overruled, it's 4th down.
Yeah. It's the definition of control, Dave. Does he have enough control of that football as he's falling while his foot is planted in the end zone? Isn't that somewhat subjective and doesn't have to be clear to overturn the call of touchdown?
Well, it is subjective, as you say, Chris.
From the 4, breaks free and shows his elusiveness and sets up the Sooners out across the 35.
And go back to that first drive. Alabama did a very good job of defending the athletic Billy Kyler Murray. See the eyes. Really good job here by the secondary. Savion Smith as a corner here again, doing a good job, not getting upfield, squeezing down against the speed and respecting what he can do with his feet. They know how he can extend plays, and I think that time Kyler Murray on 3rd down just holding the ball too long before Christian Miller comes up with the first sack of the night for the Crimson Tide defense.
And worse news for Murray, there was an illegal block in the back on that kickoff return, which is going to cost them 20 yards in field position. It was on Isaiah Thomas. So Brown, who is the man who made that return, is on the field, and that's even worse news for one of their better defensive backs.
That's their best cover man.
Kyler Murray loves a challenge. He's got a huge one right now.
He's got it.
Hasn't got rid of the ball yet. This is 4 Oklahoma plays, and it's a scramble and 2 sacks. Laura?
Kyler Murray very frustrated on the sideline, Chris, and Lincoln Riley came up to him and said exactly what Kirk just said. You're holding on to the ball too long. You got to get it out quicker. Kyler talking to his O-line, asking if they're okay and saying they need to go out and get it this time. Also, every time Alabama gains yardage, as Kyler watches on the sideline, you can see the intensity in his eyes.
It's an offensive line that was voted best in the country, the Joe Moore Award. After an 8-yard gain, finally someone other than Murray touches the ball, and it's a first down.
Well, this offensive line, look at the career starts with Evans, left tackle, Powers, look at 40, 35, the freshman now up to 12. The right guard, Samia, he's been around for a long time, 47 starts. So they're a veteran bunch, a confident bunch. But I'll tell you who's tired of hearing about them is the Alabama defense. And you could see the intensity that they're playing with here early in this game.
This is Marquise Brown, but that ball just fired into the turf as Quinnen Williams picked it up, and now it's run into the end zone. There's no signal yet. Touchdown. Xavier McKinney picked up, but this was ruled on the field apparently.
It's a forward pass. He threw the ball from the 20-yard line, and the ball landed at about the 18.5. This is a forward pass. I'm not sure why they didn't stop play.
Well, when in doubt, they want to let the play out, but that wasn't even close. You're right.
That was pretty obvious.
By the defense for a touchdown.
I think the Sooners are going to get a replay review that they like finally.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he threw that ball from about the 20. He said you're clueless. The ball's at he's about the 19-20. Watch where the ball lands. About the 18.5. It's not even close to being backwards. That'll be turned over.
Yeah, but it's even with the line. That's also a pass, not a backward pass. So
yeah.
So when in doubt, they want to But look at the throw. More to the point, though, with Williams bearing down, he just buried the nose of the football in the turf.
That's the bigger issue if you're Oklahoma, is Murray's feeling that heat. You see Quinnen Williams give him a little nudge there after the throw. And I feel like Kyler Murray right now is feeling in the presence of the Alabama rush. He's never done that this year. He's been the guy that's dictated things against the defenses that he's played. But, you know, we've been saying it for 4 weeks. This is a different defense than what he has faced in the Big 12. And he knows that coming in. But I think early in this game, I think they're in his head a little bit.
Well, Quinnen Williams was certainly in Lincoln Riley's head. The game wrecker, number 92, the man that he most feared on that Alabama defense, the Outland Trophy winner.
The pass was forward, therefore it's an incomplete pass. Second down. Please reset the game clock to 4 minutes and 42 seconds. 4-4-2.
Sooner fans thinking, okay, you give us the obvious one. The two close ones both went Alabama's way.
I want to go back to Quinnen Williams. You were just talking about him. You're talking about a guy who has come on this year to be one of the best defensive players in the country. Very slippery, 6'4", 290 pounds. He's the modern era inside defensive tackle where he uses quickness like an Aaron Donald with the LA Rams to get around people. He's not that big old Alabama 340, 350-pound guy that's eating up space. He's athletic in the middle.
So 2nd and 10. And the Tide swarm the backfield, and they drop Sermon for a loss. That was Isaiah Buggs.
And there it is. He's head up on a freshman. Keep in mind, this is a freshman. Quinnen Williams right here just disrupts the play. In fact, he puts the left guard, Ben Powers, on his back.
3rd and long, and it's a downfield shot. This is Brown, but it's overthrown. He was closely covered there by Jared Maiden, and it's 4th down.
Now, they really haven't even tried to start the running game. And we could talk about Murray all we want, but if you've watched Oklahoma, in Lincoln Riley's system, it's more about the running game with Sermon and Brooks on early downs to get their tempo going, to be able to put them in position, to be able to be aggressive with their passing game, play action. And right now, they're more about the pass and on the perimeter than they are about trying to run the ball, and because they're losing the battle up front.
Maiden forced Brown to just alter his route enough that he couldn't catch up to the football. Waddle is healthy and out there, makes a fair catch on that punt. 10-yard line. The South Florida native makes a big play.
Well, you leave them one-on-one, and this is what can happen. Trey Norwood on the inside, 13, has moved to the safety spot. And it's Jerry Jeudy, the top receiver in the country, one to Biletnikoff. Alabama's been coming up with big plays all year in the passing game. It's tough to leave these guys one-on-one, and Jeudy makes them pay for it. And by the way, Tua has not missed a pass, now 7 of 7.
But Jalen Hurts is a quarterback, and Tua's split out wide left. They call this the Aqua personnel group. First snap for the hero for the SEC championship game. Sooners bring pressure, ball out quickly to Harris, who's got blockers. And he barrels down for another first goal.
You can hear the reaction from the crowd. The Alabama fans excited to see number 2 get a chance to get back there. And right away, I'm sure Oklahoma sees Jalen Hurts, and they're thinking, old Jalen Hurts, maybe he's going to run the football. But no, he gets the ball out quickly, gives Damian Harris a chance out in space where it's tough for Oklahoma with blockers out there to slow him down. 1st and goal.
Only one football. Every member of this Tide offense wants it right now because it looks like whoever gets it's going to score. Hurts sliding to his left, lowers the shoulder, and still driving down near the 1. He can't quite push the pile to the end zone, but they got close.
And he also had help from his lineman. Remember, that's legal. You can push the ball carrier from behind. It looked like Lester Cotton, the senior, was involved in there. Damian Harris trying to help him out.
Hurts comes out now.
A couple nice plays for Jalen Hurts. Gets a congratulations from Scott Cochran, the strength coach, Nick Saban.
We'll see more of him. Boy, this is tracking.
Yeah, I think we might.
Smith in front of Harris, who gets it. And scores standing up for a 2nd time. The Tide pouring it on in Miami. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, Kirk, and the total yards stand at 191 to 0 at the moment.
Yeah, they're in command, obviously, this game, and could not ask for much more from their offense. Doing a really good job. Mike Loxley, the offensive coordinator, and his staff have put together a heck of a plan. These players are executing it. 12 runs, 8 passes, but mainly it's been the passing game with what Tua and these receivers have done.
7 for 7 from Tagovailoa for 148 yards. Had the 60-yard play on the opening play to Devontae Smith. That drive was keyed by a 40-yard catch by Jerry Jeudy. Whatever they're calling, whoever's getting the ball, it's hugely successful.
Now what do you do if you're Oklahoma? I mean, you've been here and done that, but again, you're playing a team right now that's hitting on all cylinders, has an incredible amount of confidence going right now in this game, and you look at these numbers, and you got to start somewhere. I'll go back to this. There's such a long game. They've not been able to get anything going, and I'm telling you, it's more about them running the ball than it is about the passing game and Kyler Murray. That's how they get their offense, their rhythm going, and they're getting whipped up front by Quentin Williams and that defensive front from Alabama. But I think that's what they have to do. They've got to go back to trying to run the ball.
Last time the Tide played in this building, you might remember it. It was a first-round knockout of Notre Dame.
Yeah,
the BCS championship.
Feels a lot like that.
Now the Sooners have a lot more explosive firepower than that Notre Dame offense did, but the hole is getting deeper by the minute. It's a short kick by Bolivus. It's going to bounce, and collecting it is TJ Pledger, and it's a short return. AT&T pylon cam right down the line at Harris's stand-up touchdown.
Yeah, Alabama moves the ball down. Damian Harris, this Alabama team feeling it. They run on that right side, and Damian Harris knows, watch this, he gives a message to the crowd. It's going to be a long night.
It's a long night early in the night for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Can Murray create some magic, spark this team? Serious urgency in a first down pass attempt. Calcaterra, the tight end, makes a fingertip grab. Oklahoma has a positive play and a first down.
That's a heck of a throw by Kyler Murray, and a great effort here by Calcaterra to go up and use his fingertips to make this catch. Every inch, 6'4", 221 pounds, replaced Mark Andrews this year, and he learned a lot of things from Mark. Makes a nice play.
Kennedy Brooks, part of that freshman tailback tandem, barrels around right end, and he rips off 10 yards.
See, that's their game right there. Now they're going to try to probably go tempo. You got to get Alabama, who's been asserting themselves on their heels. Now they're looking more like Oklahoma on these back-to-back plays.
Lincoln Riley, of course, who is the play caller for the 4th season. In his 2nd year as head coach, Murray keeps it, and he stumbles as he tries to get away from Williams and around the edge and loses about 3.
Well, Dylan Moses stays home that time and forced Murray to cut to the outside, and he's so quick that time he outquicked himself. Watch this, he's going to try to get outside of that block, sees Dylan Moses right there, tries to get to the outside, following that block by Meyer, but loses his footing. Now 3rd down.
We're seeing things we haven't seen from him all season.
Yeah. I think he's pressing a little bit, trying to maybe live up to that hype of winning the Heisman.
Final seconds of the first quarter. Sooners on 3rd and 4. Murray from the pocket flips it incomplete. It was off the hands of Miles Teese on a crossing route, defended by McKinney, and now a 4th down decision near midfield.
Yeah, these Alabama players right now are dialed in. Tosh LaPoy, the defensive coordinator, first-year defensive coordinator, has these guys very well prepared. They're in position, making plays, and you can just tell, like I said, they're playing with confidence. And a team and a defense that knows what they're seeing and reacting, it's a team that's well prepared.
And Riley makes a decision, down 3 touchdowns in his own end of the field, goes for it on 4th and 4. Tide rush 4. Murray flips it into heavy traffic, incomplete. Deontay Thompson got in there, and the Tide make a stand.
Well, they did a good job of anticipating that quick throw over the middle. Watch Christian Miller, who's been normally a pass rusher. This time, he shows that he's going to rush, and then he drops to be able to take away anything underneath. Look how tight that window is. I mean, he was able to somehow get it in there to tease, but he couldn't even see the ball because of 3 Alabama defenders right around him.
Talk about an Oklahoma offense that moved the ball at will, averaged 578 yards, #1 in total offense by far. And now, with 5 seconds to go in the quarter, it's Hurts back in the game, split out left in a receiver position.
Take a shot here.
Hot pass to him. Jalen turns the corner. When he gets ahead of steam, he is tough to bring down. Everything working for the Crimson Tide, who set an Orange Bowl record. There's a scuffle there. Murray on that Alabama sideline trying to talk back, and the Tide, a lot more reason to talk in the first 15 minutes. They brought Hurts in motion, fake it to him, and Jacobs plows ahead for a first down. The 31.
Tua is off to a great start. 8 of 8. We've seen a little bit of everything. The RPO on the very first play of the game. Run pass option. Linebackers came up. He made a great read. Recognition. Gets a one-on-one matchup with Jerry Jeudy. Takes it and throws the ball incredibly well with the accuracy. Here, another great throw. Incredible catch by Ruggs. And this is something to see on that throw. They went low, and he was able to still make that accurate throw.
Tua's in the slot. Hurts has the football. He pitches it to Jacobs. That was a terrific play by Trey Brown off the corner.
Yeah, Trey Brown on a corner blitz, trying to bring a little bit of pressure, maybe trying to get after the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, but instead sees that quick pitch out to Josh Jacobs and able to set the edge to that defense.
Plenty of the aqua formation, and Mike Locksley is going to take over as Maryland's head coach after this playoff season. Some wrinkles early, Kirk.
Yeah, it's some wrinkles because he knows he can always go back to one-on-one chances out on the outside. You know, he pretty much has his entire playbook open right now, calling anything and everything.
The tight end motions into the backfield to block for Jacobs, who runs to the right. And this is a personal game for Jacobs. He was from Tulsa, not highly recruited. Oklahoma never really gave him a look. He came as a rare 3-star recruit to Tuscaloosa, and he has made it personal against the Sooners tonight.
Yeah, he has. I was talking to him at practice a couple days ago, and he was fired up, talking about how much he knows a lot of these players from that Tulsa area. Hey, I love him because most Alabama players are 5-star, 5-star, 4-star. This guy's a 3-star, didn't have hardly any other offers. I'm going to tell you something. If he decides to come out, he might be the top back drafted in the NFL draft. He is a special talent, number 8.
He's got the 3rd most carries among these running backs on this team. Tagovailoa, clean pocket, flips it in the flat. There goes Jacobs. Head of steam, lowers the shoulder and scores. It is personal. It's emphatic. And it's incredibly lopsided.
Well, we just talked about how this is a guy that has an excitement and an energy about him this week, knowing who he's going up against, but it's also his skill set. Watch the linebacker try to get out. He's in man-to-man. Watch the traffic. Well-designed play, man-to-man. He's slow to get out there. Jacobs has it, and now this is what's special. You saw a little bit of everything that Josh Jacobs has. Ability to go out, make the catch, speed out in the open space, and then the physicality and toughness to bang, lower his shoulder and go right over the safety, Robert Barnes.
Who was still down on the field. Barnes is not a small guy. 6'2", 207, but so much momentum on Jacobs' side in that collision, and Barnes has paid the price. Maria.
Well, Chris, you guys talked about the fact that this game is personal right now for Josh Jacobs, but every single time he touches the football, it's personal. He actually spent some of his time homeless growing up as he and his 4 brothers and sisters lived with his father, and he worked to become financially stable. He always told himself that he was going to go to college and make a way for his family. He has a young son named Braxton who's at home in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now, and he grew up in a very rough neighborhood. He said he's lost 2 cousins over the last 3 months, and he wants people to know that someone great can come out of that city. So he's carrying on the legacy of his dad, Marty Jacobs, for his son, Braxton, and so far, so good tonight, guys.
Many sources of inspiration for that man tonight.
And I'll tell you, one of the more personable guys.
He's one of your favorite guys.
One of my favorite guys in the country,
yeah.
And has been for the last 2 years.
Right, we met him way before he'd ever touched the ball for this team.
We'd see him in the weight room. He'd have an injury. He's kind of overcoming. We'd come in and say hello to him and just would sit there and just one of those guys you just want to talk to and has a big smile on his face. So that's a guy you pull for.
And the starting free safety does not look good as Barnes is helped off, favoring that right leg. Bulovas has been busy. and accurate. The team that has missed 8 extra points this season. Kyler Murray has struggled 1 of 5, 18 yards, sacked a couple of times, and it's been unsettling. The impact has been obvious on him.
Yeah, I mean, this is as bad as it could go for Murray and this offense. And just watching them come out onto the field, they need a spark. I mean, somebody's going to have to make a play here, because I'm going to tell you something. If you're not familiar with Alabama, they don't feel sorry for you. They do not slow down until it's over.
And they flip it short. This is a catch made by Carson Meyer, and the big fullback off and rumbling. The former basketball player is a good athlete in space. Shows that. He's set up inside the 40.
And we talked about how they need to do something. Watch him kind of disguise it, delay, and then comes across and then picks up that block right there. That was a big block by Kennedy Brooks that freed him up to pick up about another 15 or 20 yards. But a nice, slow, does a good job of disguising that he was blocking and freed him up.
This is Brooks now as a runner. Powers for a short gain. Carson Meyer was hoping, after a season that produced 16 catches, he might be involved in some wrinkle plays tonight as the Tide look to take away Marquise Brown and CeeDee Lamb. By the way, they have so far.
Yeah, they have. You know, he's kind of in that role of Dimitri Flowers over the last couple of years. Blocks a lot, but can catch the ball to the backfield.
And now it's Lamb downfield, jump ball, comes back and makes the catch, his first of the night, as he beat the freshman Surtain.
And we've got a flag back close to the line of scrimmage. But that's what you want to see, is CeeDee Lamb one-on-one against a true freshman, Surtain. A good job here of kind of pulling away, locating the ball. Surtain never had his head turned around to locate it. And I loved how Murray put it up high in the air to give Lamb a chance to adjust.
Holding. Defense, number 33. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Ball will be at the 2-yard line. Everyone was huddled back at the line of scrimmage, but on the Tide.
Jennings actually tackled Jeremiah Hall, who ended up trying to release outside of him, and he just pulled him down right in front of an official, and he threw the flag, and obviously Oklahoma will take the play.
Less than a minute to move to the 2-yard line on this drive. Murray goes in motion. It's Sermon in a direct snap, and he walks right in. Sooner fans saying, where was that about half hour ago?
But there's so much game left. I mean, 11:48 in the second quarter. This is what you need. We just talked about who's going to provide a spark for this team. And 4 plays and 75 yards, they go into the end zone, and there's some pushing and shoving. The flag actually down. I love the patience there by Trey Sermon before he took it into the end zone.
We talked about Oklahoma's DNA. It's a very proud program that doesn't fear any opponent. They've been embarrassed here, and they're chirping, and the Tide are chirping right back.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 71. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff. That is number 71's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
It's Bobby Evans, who comes from the same hometown as Murray, Allen, Texas.
And Bobby Evans gets tied up after the touchdown with Isaiah Buggs.
Here's Austin Seibert. Nobody's kicked more PATs in the history of the NCAA. He needs 5 points tonight to break the all-time career scoring record for kickers. Well, it comes 4 touchdowns behind, but that was quite a drive for OU.
It was. They had a nice pass to Meyer, the big throw down the field to CeeDee Lamb, and then the direct snap to Trey Sermon, who waits patiently, finds the hole in the backside to get the ball into the end zone for the touchdown. And we've got another flag that's come down.
That was well after the PAT. Already Oklahoma was going to have to kick off from the 20.
The try is good. After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 75 of the offense. That penalty will also be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
That's Drew Samia, so 2 different offensive gifts. Youth football down here is serious business from a very young age. They don't mess around. Well, you don't see many kickoffs from the 10-yard line. The first one moved it back to the 20, and then half the distance on the second. Unnecessary roughness.
When you're trying to get back into the game, you lose your cool, and now you pay for it, kicking off at your own 10.
I mean, Seibert creates a lot of touchbacks, but if he can reach the end zone from here, it's a good effort. Taken at the 20. Actually, was there a fair catch called for? Brian Robinson evidently waved his hand for some reason, even though Jacobs made the catch. That cost him some field position.
He sure did. He wanted to take off and try to get it at least maybe close to midfield.
Sooners very lucky to not be pinned back.
Right.
Tide taking over at midfield.
For sure. Lincoln Riley trying to get his team to buy in. Also Kyler Murray trying to do what he can to get his team fired in. It's actually Robinson, as you said there. Josh Jacobs saying, I got it, I'm taking this thing. There's Kyler Murray after that touchdown talking to his offensive lineman like, let's go. Trying to ignite them.
Samia, a senior, you talked about the experience. Again, this group voted the top O-line of the country, and that's another source of inspiration for Bama's defense, and they didn't need it. Hurts in the game, in motion. Play action fake. Tagovailoa slings it downfield for Waddle, who can't quite catch up despite blazing speed. There was help for Brown from Norwood.
That's huge by Norwood because he was actually uptight. Recognized that Waddle's going downfield and he's in the middle of the field. He's got to get back to try to help Brown out. That was a very good job of playing the middle of the field. Keep in mind, Trey Norwood's a corner. All year he's a corner, but because they don't have any safeties, they had to move him in a Big 12 championship game to that safety spot, and there he shows some pretty good instincts for a guy that hadn't played a lot of football at the safety.
And to double clutch it on the fake, and Ruggs is going to be tracked down for a loss by Caleb Kelly, the linebacker.
Yeah, good job of staying home. That time, Tua in this offense trying to catch him. Watch everybody on that offensive line going to the left. They try to catch them napping, out of position. Caleb Kelly is home. The rest of that defense, they leverage the football, and now they've got Tua and Alabama to 3rd and long. They've been playing zone on 3rd down. See if they disguise and try to bring pressure or sit back.
Tied 4 for 4 on 3rd down so far. Need 10. Sooners bring late pressure. Tagovailoa gets it out high, incomplete. Looking for Smith, and well defended by Brown. And the Sooners force a punt for the first time.
And that's what they needed. That's what this Oklahoma team needed. They needed a touchdown to stop the bleeding.
Training tent on the Alabama sideline. It's an option pitch. Shades of old school Oklahoma. They won a few championships with that style. And Sermon picks up a nice gain. Look at that block here.
Let's go back to this. Mack Wilson's a physical linebacker, and boom, he hits him low too. Hits him low, right, the shoulder right into the chest. Clean hit.
Lamb, he's the physical blocking receiver, also a
great
speedy playmaker.
Yeah.
That's 7 on the option play. Now it's Sermon trying to get to the edge. Tide stringing out. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds by Fedarian Mathis, who's backing up Williams, who's again on the sidelines.
Well, I thought Trey Sermon would have just lowered his shoulder there near the end of the play and just tried to get to that first down. Instead, he's kind of dancing. And you know, he had Marquise Brown out there blocking. And if he just would have just continued around the corner and just lowered his shoulder, I think he picks up that first down with ease.
You got 2 plays to get 2 yards here. It's 3rd down. Have not yet converted on 3rd.
Got to account for Murray's legs here on 3rd and short.
Slant batted straight up in the air. Dangerous play, falls to the turf, but it was Jennings getting that long arm of the football.
You know, he's done that all year. It's his 10th of the year, where he can't always get to you, but he's going to do a good job of getting his hands up and timing it up. Keep in mind, Murray, they list him at 5'10", but there's no way he's 5'10". And these are big, tall defensive linemen with a big wingspan, and Jennings times it up, knocks it down. Now we got 4th down.
From the pocket, Murray flings it far side. It's a back shoulder fade, and Lamb makes the catch as they convert to the 14.
They go after the true freshman. Lamb, you know, he just had that great block, and Marquise Brown gets a lot of attention. I think Lamb's their most complete receiver. Really has grown up here in his second year for the Sooners.
High tempo, Sermon barrels ahead. This is more like it. This is what Oklahoma has looked like throughout the season offense.
Yeah, that counter play where they're able to follow the left guard and left tackle. Sermon has good patience there. He's healthy now. He's had an ankle a lot of this year. It's good to see him healthy. You're right. This is the kind of Oklahoma attack. And I love the guts there on 4th down. Instead of just looking for a short throw, they go downfield.
Murray took a look downfield, now tries to make something happen with his legs. Cannot get the corner. Well played over there by Savion Smith.
Yeah, Savion Smith just making sure to use the sideline as his friend. You get out there against Kyler Murray in space, and I know it's Alabama, but still, it is tough to bring him down one-on-one, and that time Smith did a nice job of using the sideline to his advantage.
And finally, Kirk, with some first downs, the Sooners able to test the stamina of the Tide defense with some tempo. Subs on both sides. It's 3rd and 5.
Well, Calcaterra is a good weapon right here in this area.
Slot left, looking that way, throws for him in the end zone. It was behind him. He's made some tough one-handed catches. Look at the one that sealed it against Texas. Couldn't make that one. 4th down.
No, he was covered by McKinney. Came from the inside, and because
got to stop the last time. Capital One rewarding performance. Just a tremendous start for this Tide offense. Everything they tried worked.
Yeah, everything. It's been a very balanced attack. Tua's had an incredible first half. All the talk about his ankle and how he would hold up. He's been great. 10 of 12, 184 yards, couple touchdowns, spreading the ball around. It's a heck of a catch and run after the catch by the running back Josh Jacobs. It was right over top of a safety and into the end zone, right over Robert Barnes. Remember that last time out, Oklahoma had a 3 and out.
Jacobs runs left. We're Rutledge.
Well, Chris, after Oklahoma finally did get a stop, their entire mannerisms changed on the sideline. They were pumped up. They were excited. Before that, exhausted and on their heels. The message has been, don't look at the scoreboard. Just continue to play like this and get one stop at a time. They are, of course, without their starting safety, Robert Barnes, who's dealing with a right hamstring injury.
And replaced by Patrick Fields, a freshman, number 10. Jacobs at a crease and barrels out for a first down across the 35.
Yeah, another nice move there by Josh Jacobs. You got 2 tight ends right now in for Alabama. They've been spreading them out with receivers. Got a feeling that Mike Locksley right now, based on the way this game is, the ebb and flow of it, look at the clock. Would be a great thing for this offense to do is get physical and try to eat a little bit of this clock and have a nice long drive.
We're feeding on hand of the inspired man tonight. Jacobs just makes Parnell Motley whiff in space.
Yeah, there's 2 things there that you like to see. Number 1, the effort and the block here by Devontae Smith coming from the left on a crack block right there on Trey Norwood, and then the shake. I mean, that's a video game shake there. Keep talking about Josh Jacobs and how much we like him. That's Motley trying to come up with a tackle, and instead he almost has to come up with a slide kick in soccer. Slide tackle.
A smile from Jacobs after that run. That felt pretty good.
Yeah.
2nd and 3. He's got it again. Quick penetration, and Jacobs picks his way. A flag comes out.
That's a hold.
Jacobs goes to the 44, and now there's a scuffle. Caleb Kelly ended up on top of Henches, the tight end.
Yeah, well, there's a hold by the right tackle, Wills, that'll bring this back.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
I don't know what he was thinking. He just grabbed an Oklahoma defensive lineman, I think it was Gallimore, and just threw him.
Saban was lobbying, by the way, for a personal foul, Kirk, after the play on Kelly. Here's the penalty.
Watch this, just throwing him to the ground.
You see off the left of your picture, 84 and 19 wrestling. No call on that one. It's the first penalty on Bama.
Nick Saban should be hot after that because, like I said, they wanted to, he's making some notes, they wanted to go 2 tight ends to get physical and kind of control the end of this first half.
2nd and 13. Play action. Slanted, a fingertip catch made by Smith. He's a yard short of the marker at the 45.
Yeah, they went back to the run pass option. Linebackers bit up. You see one of them right there, Bolton. And again, when he sees those linebackers, he's got the option to either hand it off, or if the linebackers come up, he pulls the ball out and throws that quick slant. And a good effort there by Smith to extend and come up with that catch to set up this third down and short.
Bama offense just making every play that you can make. Jacobs now in Wildcat as Tua is shifted out way to the right. High snap, and the Oklahoma native barrels forward, another first down into OU territory.
You know it's coming, and you still can't stop it. And now they can get back to being able to just run that football. Right tackle that time, Wills makes a great block the entire right side. And the tight end, Henches, gets up to the second level and makes a nice block on Kenneth Murray.
Sooners had some backup defensive linemen in the game. Now they shuttle the starters back in. Jacobs and Najee Harris flanking Tagovailoa. And on the play action, Waddle makes the catch in space. It's another first down. They went after Fields, the freshman. Barnes' replacement that time.
Everybody talks this year about Tua and this offense and how great Tua is. The difference in Alabama this year is what's around Tua. A big, strong offensive line, NFL quality running backs, and 4 deep at wide receiver. It's the best group of receivers that Nick Saban's had since he's been at Tuscaloosa. Throwing Irv Smith at tight end. They needed a distributor, and that's what they got in Tua.
On the blitz, they flip it in the flat, and Jacobs just tries to hurdle a Sooner, ends up getting carried out of bounds as Trey Brown said, "No, you're not jumping all the way over me." Jacobs is feeling it.
Now, Trey Brown is from that same Tulsa area that Josh Jacobs is from. You're right, he goes up trying to get to that first down marker. Very content. You don't feel any urgency at all right now from Tua as the clock works down underneath 3.5 minutes.
Action, short one, and just in front of Trey Brown. Judy able to grab it, and they move the sticks again. 14 for 16 is Tua right now.
He's in a groove. I don't think if you're Bama, you want to give Kyler Murray much time to work with. Some methodical drive. Just work their way down the field. So far, 8 plays, 51 yards in 4 minutes. Chew up as much clock as they can.
Pre-snap chess match. Sooners showed pressure. Tagovailoa changes things. It's a run left. Najee Harris is going to be corralled by Kenneth Murray, top tackler on this defense.
And what he saw there was the Oklahoma defense overloaded to the right-hand side. Look at all these jerseys. And he sees that. He moves Najee Harris, then runs that zone play instead of to the right where all the white jerseys are. Just simply makes that check. But by taking his time, kind of having a dummy check at the line, he's able to read that, get his offense, and get his running back in the right position.
Again, in the flat, Harris tries to hurdle another Sooner, knocked down by Fields right at the marker, just inside the 10. Spotted just short, so it's third down. You're right. This is a totally different tempo.
Yeah, you just work. You knew when this drive started, you knew what they were going to try to do, and they're close to 6 minutes that they've eaten up on this drive.
We talked to Saban about this. Do you throttle back, trying to keep the ball away from Murray, or do what you've done all year? And he's elected to do what he's done all year until now.
Yeah, this drive, he knew it.
Jacobs again.
Lincoln Riley comes down and calls another timeout.
Once again, Tagovailoa was split out wide left with Jacobs in position to receive the Wildcat snap. 309 yards from this Alabama offense. You got 50 on the opening play to Devontae Smith. They can sprint right past you, but they can still smash you too, and that's what we've seen on this drive.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this offense just so good. Most of the attention of this offense goes towards Tua, the wide receivers, how they spread you out. But I think because they can still be old school Nick Saban, that I think probably scared Oklahoma as much as anything, is if they just decide to go into 2 tight end set and get physical, what do you do to stop that other than trying to put 8 or 9 guys at the line of scrimmage, and now you're susceptible to the deep ball and one-on-one coverage.
And for a minute there, Oklahoma was threatening to cut the lead to 14, had to settle for 3, or chose to settle for 3. And Alabama has clearly regained firm control of this. 3rd and 1, and after the timeout, Tua Tagovailoa back at the quarterback position with Jacobs to his right. They don't need much, maybe a foot. And now they shift and a false start. So as
offense, number 74, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And those wills again. He tried to get a little cute in 3rd and very short. Saban will take another note. We've seen this over the years. It doesn't matter the score. This is something he'll file away for halftime or next week, perhaps.
Yeah, he's got a few things they got to fix before they get ready for the second half.
9 points more per game than any Saban offense at Alabama, or any Alabama offense in history. This group.
Been seeing a lot of run-pass options with a quick slant. Reading those linebackers who look like they're coming.
On 3rd and 6. Saban runs down and calls a timeout. The play clock was at 1. He noticed it. So the execution, not what he would hope for at the end of this long march. You mentioned Oklahoma will get the football to begin the 3rd quarter after deferring. He says, we needed that much, Wills, before your penalty. Well, coming up, stay tuned for the Indeed halftime report. We got Reese Davis, Desmond Howard, David Pollack. Buddies from game day on the field. They'll highlight some of that Goodyear Cotton Bowl dominant performance by Clemson and all the other games. It's a Big Ten doing so far in the bowl. Michigan today hammered by Florida.
Yeah, I saw that, and I didn't get that final at Purdue. With Purdue ended up losing to Auburn. I saw.
They're still playing. They're still scoring.
That was bad. I think Wisconsin won, and Minnesota.
Wisconsin hammered the Canes. Pinstripe Bowl.
Yep.
3rd and 5 here. Judy in motion. Tua over the middle, delivers, strike, Smith battling, stretching, and scoring. There is a flag down on the far side of the field, so hold it. Irv Smith, junior from New Orleans. If it stands, it'd be his 8th touchdown.
Illegal formation, offense. Number 74 was not lined up on the line of scrimmage.
Oh, boy.
5-yard penalty.
Take out the notepad because Wills is in the doghouse even deeper now, Kirk.
Boy, yep, you got it. He's got the pen out. Boy, 74's going to have a long halftime.
You wonder, Nick, of course, can remember these things, but just to make sure he takes notes.
Yeah, he does. Looking over at the right tackle. I don't know. I think Oklahoma may catch a break. The design of the play, they went right after the true freshman safety Patrick Fields, who's in for Robert Barnes.
It was 3rd and a foot, or less than that. Now it's 3rd and 10. And Tua steps up. He's got room to run. Escapes. Hit. Doesn't matter. He's knocked down just short. It'll be 4th down, back where they were a couple of plays ago.
Yeah, there's the ankle. Everybody wanted to see how his ankle is. And when he's healthy, you have to account for him on 3rd down if you're so worried about the receivers. But that time's the first time tonight we've seen him take off, and he did a very good job of coming very close to picking up that 1st down. But no, Alabama or Oklahoma brought the blitz. Nobody left to pick up Murray or Tua.
Sooners haven't stopped anybody on 4th and 1 all season. Jacobs again in Wildcat formation, and they're getting cute down here. That was another false start. Damian Harris was lined up to the right side, and Saban just threw the card down that time.
Well, he's clapping his hands, trying to get the ball snapped, and I think Damian Harris was anticipating that the ball was going to be snapped.
I mean, a new headset, coach. That one got broken. It's in a couple of different pieces. Now it's 4th down now. It's going to be 5. And you don't have to lip read very skillfully to know that he's not very pleased. All these different formations, these different shifts and different looks. They probably could have done 1,000 simple things and got the 3rd down on a foot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, you had the running back in. The plays worked all night, but he's clapping and waiting for the snap to come in.
False start. Offense, number 34. Oklahoma has declined the 10-second runoff option. 4th down.
Yeah.
Game clock will start on the snap, on the ready.
Yeah, of
Watch
course
Damian
they want as
Harris.
much time.
Right here, he gets in. He's kind of anticipating. See him on his toes. He finally just loses his balance, and Nick Saban's like, "Oh man!"
Look at that. Watch the headset. Boom. You do that with a football, it costs you 15 yards. I don't know how expensive those things are, but they're going to need a replacement. So now, after all that, there's 3 penalties. It's Bulovas out to attempt a field goal from 38. Nick's mood will not improve if this one slides outside the uprights. It was close. They come away with 3, but I don't think that's going to calm Saban down too much.
But 12 plays, over 7 minutes on the drive, and now they leave Kyler Murray with 25 seconds left.
And a long walk from Mr. Wills to the sideline. Well, the College Football Playoff National Championship Weekend in the Bay Area going to be the place to be, whether your favorite team is in it or not. Learn about all the events and festivities. Plan for the championship campus at collegefootballplayoff.com. Don't miss out on the biggest weekend in college football. No words needed. You know, he understands that Oklahoma's offense is explosive, and even though your defense has been pretty dominant, no lead feels safe, and that was just a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, they had it at 3rd and short, about 6 inches. That's why he's frustrated. They left points on the board there.
That just changed the tenor of the halftime talk in the Alabama locker room, that last sequence.
Yeah. And again, Oklahoma will get the ball to start the second half.
Bulovas boots it, and a fair catch made by T.J. Pledger. So 25 seconds. You got big playmakers. You feel Alabama's going to drop way back and try to deny Murray a chance.
Look at that, only 140 yards of total offense.
22 fewer than any half all season long.
With that being said, I think the last 2 or 3 drives have been better for Oklahoma than the way this game started, where they were just shell-shocked by Bama on both sides of the ball.
Couldn't be worse than the way it started.
Yeah.
See if Murray has enough time to take a downfield shot. Tide rush 4, but they flush him, and now he's just going to flip it short to Meyer, and he picks up about 7.
Boy, Quinnen Williams, his first step is just legendary in the middle of that defensive line. They don't have to even pressure. They don't have to bring the blitz. Quinnen Williams, watch him on this play. He's off just to the left of the center. Right here.
He brought a pinky injury into the game, and Maria Portsy just had that retaped. Pinky's not going to keep him out of this one. In the flat, Brooks is a good receiver, able to get to the 41, but that uses 6 seconds and leaves just 12.
You know, watching this game, one of the parts of the plan, I think, for Oklahoma was to wear down the Alabama athletic defense. And the way you do that, you got to stay on the field. You got to get first downs. You got to, you look at the plays right now. They only have 28 plays run.
They need about 25 yards to be in reasonable field goal range for Seibert, and Murray escapes and crosses midfield, but leaves just 4 seconds on the clock. Leaves time only now for a Hail Mary. Very rough start for Kyler. He's 6 of 13. As a runner, 23 yards net. He's been sacked a couple times, in fact twice in that opening possession. 3 receivers out to the right. Sermon in the backfield. Tide rush 3, and they still flush him out. And he's not going to even be able to make a downfield throw. Still dangerous out here, but as time expires in a dominant first half.
Casual and calm, because he said they just need to repeat what they did in the second quarter. That was his message to Kyler Murray. He said they will do some more tempo, want to get this sped up as much as possible to really get Alabama's defense on their heels. When Oklahoma came out of the locker room, they were intense and focused, guys.
Got to speed it up before the snap on the very first play. Makes it 1st and 15. Now Murray sprinting out. He's chased by Moses. And now a flag comes in after he got rid of it.
It grabbed. It looked like Dylan Moses actually had a horse collar, possibly.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, number 32, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And Oklahoma catches a break. Nick Saban not happy about that. Moses trying to chase him down. Yeah, he just grabs the back of the jersey and brings him down. Referee right there. And that's a mental error by Dylan Moses and his Alabama defense. They had him backed up after the penalty, an incomplete pass, and now they pick up the first down because of the penalty. And
Saban's so hot about those 3 offensive penalties in the final possession of the half. His move will not improve with that one. Ball at the 35. Murray chased and flips it back, and wide open is Meyer. Gets a block. Carson Meyer lowers his shoulder, and a flag comes in as he's tackled at the 45. And there's still some pushing and shoving. This is a chippy game.
Yeah, I think this one's going to come back. A block in the back. And the running back downfield, Kennedy Brooks.
Illegal block in the back. Number 26. Offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
This play was already defined. He's already downfield, and Kennedy Brooks, now he makes the mistake trying to block Mack Wilson. You can see he already had 8 or 9 yards picked up on the play.
After the play, Drew Samia, the offensive lineman, got into it with Deontay Thompson. It's the O-line for Oklahoma, known as a nasty bunch. It has been chippy between that group and the Tide defenders. Once again, 1st and 15. He's got to hurry. Snap it at 2. It's a keeper. Murray shows the explosiveness. It doesn't look like a lot, Kirk, but he got 7 yards.
Yeah, he does look a little hesitant. I think it's because of the defense and the way they're leveraging. You know, Marquise Brown, all the talk about how effective he could be. Could he be out here playing number 5? He is right now, does not have a catch in this game.
There's a drop on a short pass. Murray from the pocket flips it high for Brown. They try to get it to him. That one's on the quarterback.
Yeah, he had him open. Did a nice job of sitting down. You see he's communicating. Kind of sat down in the soft spot of the zone, but Kyler Murray's trying to run for his life. You see he was pointing into the middle. I was trying to work to the middle of the field, and Murray wanted him to settle right there where he could have picked up some yardage. But he is hobbling out there. I'm watching him run his routes. He does not look the way he looked early in the game.
In this urgent possession, it's 3rd and 8, and now the Tide come across where they drawn.
Ball start. Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Drew Samia is a terrific lineman, a senior veteran. He's had a rough night.
He's frustrated. Right guard moves as the Alabama defense was beginning to move. If he would have just settled there, that would have been 5 yards for Oklahoma.
6th penalty for OU. They've frequently had penalty problems throughout the season, but they've been so explosive it hasn't really hurt them.
May want to move him out of the pocket, or he's got to get rid of the ball quickly. They're coming after him.
3rd and 13. Here comes the blitz. Murray, nobody open, takes off, gets away from Jennings. You can see the suddenness. His feet earning the first down at the 46.
Well, and the thing is, Jennings, 33, instead of rushing right here, he's actually sitting in the middle of that defense, but he does not have the speed to be able to sit there and try to spy Kyler Murray.
Oklahoma did substitute, so Alabama could have slowed things down to get their subs in, but they use tempo and they find Lamb, and now the Sooners are in business. A first down inside the 45.
And if you've not seen Kyler Murray play, gives you an idea how strong his arm is. You know, he's running this sophisticated scheme of Lincoln Riley's, and he's known, you know, for some fans because of his athletic ability. He's a top 10 draft pick in MLB. That last scramble gives you an idea. But his ability to process coverage and use his arm strength from the pocket is exceptional. And that time he threw that from the right hash all the way out to the left boundary there to CeeDee Lamb with a lot of velocity.
A couple plays ago was 3rd and 13, so you see the running and then the suddenness of that arm. And the Sooners threatening. Brooks slams right into a crimson wall, but it spins free. This is a tough football player. If you look at the measurables, he didn't seem like a star, but you look up and he's got 100 yards.
You're right about that. You know, he's had to step in because Rodney Anderson was lost early in the year. Trey Sermon's battled through some injuries, and he's had an opportunity to play early in his career, and he's made the most of it. They did a nice job showing some good balance.
1,000-yard runner, and he's free again, and muscles down inside the 30, and now that OU O-line is starting to get a push.
Exactly. They love that counter play, and to be able to run the counter play, the left side has to collapse that defensive line down, which they did, and that frees up the right guard and the right tackle to come around and make some blocks.
8th play of the drive. On 1st down, Murray thinking play action, wanted to take a shot downfield. Has the luxury of time, launches into the end zone, was looking for Meyer. It's broken up nicely by Thompson.
Boy, I don't know. He just kind of threw that up and hoped. That's a dangerous defense athletically to do that with, especially when your receiver that you're throwing it to is Meyer, who has size at 6'5", but he's an H-back. You've got a couple safeties and corners back there. He's very lucky that Deontay Thompson did not intercept that ball. I'm surprised he didn't just take off and just try to pick up 3, 5, 7 yards. He had all day back there.
You're right. There was some desperation in the decision, and then the ball was not accurate. 2nd and 10. Got to hurry. They snap it at 2. Brooks running right. Powers forward for a short gain. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Again, checking because he saw 2 safeties back. He had McKinney and Thompson both back, and when you have 2 safeties from Alabama back, you feel that the numbers in your advantage to run the ball. But Thompson late came down to give them that extra defender in the box, and they were able to hold up there on 2nd down to get the Sooners to now 3rd and long.
Last time he converted with a scramble, you figure Bama will spy him this time. They rush 4, they flip it into flats to Kennedy, who escapes. And Brooks barrels down another 1st down as the freshman from Texas begins to make an impact here.
You're going to see Marquise Brown set kind of a pick right here on Mack Wilson, who's man-to-man. They do a good job of getting the ball to the outside to Brooks. Really elusive in the open field. And Mack Wilson unable to make that play out in space. He had him short of the 1st. If he could have made that tackle.
Back-to-back 3rd and long conversions. Got to find the end zone here. Field goal doesn't do him much good. Sermon cuts it back. Knocked down at the 9.
One of the things Lincoln Riley told us that I think is great to see in college football today, you see signs on the sideline and, you know, different things. Quarterbacks, a lot of times they don't even have to think very much. The coaches on the sideline are doing it for them. Baker Mayfield the last 3 years was in command of this offense. What we've seen this year from Murray, in command, setting the protections, getting out of a bad pass into a good run, constantly in command in this offense, and he demands that from his quarterbacks.
Calcaterra in motion, and a slant is too high for Lamb. Zipped it. The fastball missed the strike zone, though.
Well, he tried to go over top of 2 Alabama defenders. CeeDee Lamb is open, but look back close to the line of scrimmage. 49, Isaiah Buggs, the safety, McKinney, who's up close to the line of scrimmage. I think that affected his accuracy by trying, instead of waiting just a second to maybe go around them and having a better throwing lane, he actually tried to go over top of them, which is very tough to do when he's sitting there at 5'9".
Need 6 on 3rd down. Already 2 crucial conversions in this drive. Murray chased. And flips it short, bobbled and incomplete, and the difficult night for Marquise Brown continues. 4th down.
Yeah, he cannot hold on to the football. You got a man down, maybe Christian Miller.
We talked about the physical problems with the foot. It's affected him mentally, I think. He makes that catch normally. That's a 1st and goal.
Yeah, it
is a chip shot. And it is an all-time scoring record for kickers by Seibert. That record means a lot to him, but the 3 points don't mean a lot in this game. Interesting. Margin cut, but Seibert, who now has the record, another touchback. They were 4th and 5 and then 4th and 6, twice at the 9-yard line, and both times Toast kicked the field goal. Maria?
Well, guys, coming out of the locker room for Alabama, the focus was on cleaning up all of the mistakes and making sure that everyone was great with their assignments. And also, I checked in with head football athletic trainer Jeff Allen. He said that Tua feels great coming back into this game, but a couple of updates. You saw Christian Miller going back into the locker room for further evaluation. It's a left leg injury. I've also seen Isaiah Buggs getting a little bit of treatment. They're adjusting his knee brace right now on that left leg. And guys, the D-line looking very gassed over here, making sure they're getting oxygen and ice towels in between the breaks.
Sooners used 5 minutes on that field goal drive, and now Bama trying to pick up where they left off. This could be kind of a grinding second half, Kirk, if they throttle back the pass game a little bit.
Yeah, they could. I mean, they have anything in front of them, but you have 2 tight ends, and you've got an offensive line that's coming off the ball and pushing Oklahoma around, and you got a running back in Josh Jacobs, who's off to a really good start, averaging 5 yards a carry.
Bama off the highest scoring first half in their bowl history. Leads Jacobs again. At times, you mentioned the injuries in his career. It's been a frustrating ride for this guy who's worked hard on his game, and this is the shining moment so far for Josh Jacobs in college against his home state school, and playing a huge role as a runner and receiver. Yeah,
he's showing really what he can do. 11 carries tonight. Giving him an opportunity. He's been able to catch the ball out of the backfield with that big touchdown.
They don't get cute on this 3rd and short. You keep it simple. No 5-yard penalty this time, and Jacobs picks it up easily.
Now if you're Mike Loxley and you're upstairs looking down as an offensive coordinator, and you got this power formation where you've got 2 tight ends, and these safeties are starting to cheat down very easily. Could continue to either run the ball, or he could go play action here, get the safeties down, create a one-on-one opportunity, and hit a big play in the pass game.
That's a 1st down play action. Tagovailoa wanted to throw it. Now he's going to cut back, duck under a physical tackle, and pick up 4. Kenneth Murray was hunting him up.
He sure was. Good team pursuit there, and we've got it's like a man down. It's like Bledsoe.
Starting defensive end, junior. Injuries on both sides piling up. And we'll step aside again. Backup is in there. Just got to say it fast.
You're a beauty.
2nd and 6. Jacobs slipped the tackle in the backfield and dives into OU territory for a 1st down as his big night continues.
Watch Curtis Bolton, who does a good job again. He looks like he's down, but does a good job of being able to shoot through some gaps tonight. Now, keep in mind, he's undersized, but he's able to get in there. And again, there's Josh Jacobs. It doesn't always show up when you look at his stats, but just because he's 5'10", 216 pounds, do not underestimate how physical of a runner he is. Low center of gravity. We saw him earlier after that catch make a nice play, getting into the end zone, ran over their safety. Well, he brings a lot of physicality to that position.
Curtis Bolton, the starting backer, is out of the game as the Tide continue to pound away, and the Sooner casualty list is growing.
Got man-to-man. I think Tua sees that. He could take a shot here if he wants it.
Taking a peek. Now there was some confusion. Jacobs was nowhere to be found as Tua turned to hand it off to him, and it's going to result in a sack as he's dropped way behind the line by Caleb Kelly.
You know, he makes a check, and I think everybody picked up on it except he and Jacobs. You know, he sees the defense. He sees potentially man-to-man. He kind of gives a look out there. Jacobs moves over to the left, and I think he was surprised that he moved over. He looked to hand it maybe off of maybe possibly play action, but bit of confusion.
6-yard loss. Second and 16. There's been far too much of that confusion for Saban's liking the last few possessions. Tua still got it, flips it in the flat on the run. Irv Smith, and a nice shoestring tackle is made there by Norwood to prevent a bigger gain.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Oklahoma is walking their corners up and almost challenging Jerry Jeudy and Ruggs. Safety in the middle of the field, but nobody over top protecting the corners. At some point, you got to think Tua is going to see that and want to take advantage of a one-on-one matchup and try to hit a big one. Doing it again. See him walked up tight.
Tide need 10 on third down. Tua.
There it is.
Does take a downfield shot against single coverage. Jeudy works back and makes a tremendous catch at the 17. Tide receivers making every play tonight.
I mean, Tua has to be seeing what the rest of us are seeing, and he's the one with the accuracy. He gets a little shake, a little stutter and go. How about the throw downfield? And oh, they may take a peek at that. Might take a peek at that. The ball looked like it was a little loose when he stepped out of bounds.
And just before Alabama wanted to snap it, the replay booth does buzz down.
Rolling on the field is a catch. The previous play is under further review.
That's an incredible throw. Decent coverage. Jeudy does a good job of getting behind him late. And I think that ball is coming through his arms there as he stepped out of bounds. I'll be surprised if they hold this up.
Would have had it cleanly, but he lost.
Yep. He needed to hold possession while the right foot was down. Once the right foot was in the air and he gets possession, then the left foot comes down and he stepped out of bounds.
Dave Kataya will bring him in again. There have been a couple of replays, Dave, where control of the football has been the principal issue.
The key is, the rule is 1 foot down in this case and control. Problem is, that second step, he doesn't have clear control when that first foot inbounds is down, and we've got to juggle. To me, this is incomplete.
2 very early replay reviews went the way of Alabama, including what would have been, was ruled on the field, a fumble by Damian Harris at the 1-yard line opening possession. Replay overturned that. He was down, and they quickly scored.
Parnell Motley, the corner, number 11. Coaches tell us when they moved Trey Norwood from corner to safety, his game elevated, his confidence elevated. He's kind of been hit or miss this year. There are games that you watch and you're thinking, why, he's really good. There's games you watch when he misses. Watch the route by Jeudy. He gets behind him, gives him a little stutter, and then go. And Motley's in position right here, but those long strides and the speed overall of Jeudy gets him behind Motley, and the throw is sensational by Tua. I think, yeah, it looks like they're feeling like it's going to come back.
After review, the receiver did not have control of the ball inbounds. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
Yeah, difference between 1st and goal and 4th and 10 back near midfield. That one goes OU's way, and they desperately needed it.
Yeah, Motley feeling good, and he did play it pretty well. I mean, the ball was thrown with incredible accuracy to give Jeudy a chance, but he did not get that foot down, and OU gets a stop, gets the ball back.
Motley's the kind of guy, he's been toasted in some games, but he's made some crucial interceptions. He had 3 of Oklahoma's 6 picks, including picks that sealed the Iowa State and Army games. He had the pick in overtime.
That's what I'm saying. It's been kind of a hit or miss. He doesn't just kind of go unnoticed. He either makes big plays or he gives up big plays.
Alabama crowd still booing the replay review.
And I spotted the ball in the left hash. Now they're moving it over to the right hash.
Not many punts by Bama tonight, so not many opportunities for CeeDee Lamb to make an impact as a returner. He's standing at his 10. It's a Booth that's right away from him to give him on. Murray escapes and shows that electric speed and scoots for a quick 9. Laura?
Chris, you're talking about the rhythm of Kyler Murray and Marquise Brown. Brown didn't even practice until they got here to Miami, so he hasn't had a lot of reps in a month's time. He's been limping on the sideline, but no one's even looked at him. He told me, Brown did, that he expected to be in pain in this game, but he didn't care. He said, if I could breathe, I will play, because I want to play in front of my family. About 30 family members here for him.
And the problem's not the foot, it's been the hands. He's dropped two very easy ones tonight. I think mentally it's been tough. He was so keyed up. It is a homecoming game. Hollywood, Florida, his hometown. That's where Oklahoma's team is staying. It's about a half hour from here. It's been a nightmare for him so far. Can he return and make a play? First down after the run. And now Murray's still got it. And looks at the sidelines and over the head of his high school teammate, Lee Morris.
Well, that's a gutsy throw. Morris, who he's got a good relationship with, you mentioned going all the way back to high school with an outcut, and Xavier McKinney, the safety, pretty tight coverage. He tried to go up and over McKinney, and McKinney gets just a hand on that and was trying to think about trying to get two hands on it and intercepting that. He would have walked to the end zone. Who's going to make a play for this Oklahoma offense on the perimeter besides CeeDee Lamb? Is there any other threats?
Brown still on the sidelines. They flip it short. Lamb's got it, and he cuts back. A little wide receiver screen, picks up 7. It'll be third down.
Yeah, that's good execution. You have linemen downfield. Gives him a very good chance here on third down and short. Oklahoma here has the advantage, even though it is third down. With Murray's quickness, he can either get the ball out of his hands and try to find a matchup that he likes. He does love Lee Morris in these situations, 84, or also he can use his legs to outrun him and try to get to the sticks.
From the pocket, slant, Lamb, catch, first down into Bama territory. Paid the price, but held on.
Yeah, he sure did. That's a great route again. CeeDee Lamb, man, he is really grown up in this second year in this offense. Played a lot as a true freshman last year. He knew that that hit was coming from Deontay Thompson. Really nice job on that quick slant. Gets to the inside of Surtain and then looks up just in time to be able to protect the ball before Thompson lowers the boom.
Murray escapes, lofts it downfield for Morris, who's got it for a touchdown. Check it, it's Charleston Rambo. What a throw.
We keep saying, who's going to step up besides CeeDee Lamb on the outside? 14, you see the blitz there by Carter. Nobody touches him off of the release, and he's got those long strides for a freshman. Makes a big play. You know, he had a big catch in the Big 12 championship game against Texas, and he comes up clutch here for the Sooners, and Kyler Murray gets behind coverage and makes the play.
His first career touchdown is an enormous one, covers 49 yards, and Oklahoma finally with an explosive play in the passing game.
You're going to see a blitz coming from out here from Carter. Once he does this is what he's seeing. He's seeing that he's got his receiver getting behind this safety, so even though he's got pressure right there from Jennings, he knows instead of taking off and running, he's got the arm strength on the run, by the way, to be able to get it up and over the safety for the touchdown. It's a baseball player throw right there.
And it's a huge play, big moment for the career Rambo, but Oklahoma has now cut the lead to 11, and you can see why Lincoln Riley was fairly upbeat for a coach that was way behind.
We got a ball game, he's saying. By the way, that ball on the run, thrown about 55 yards in the air.
In the run, then almost in the air as he let it go.
Yeah, yeah.
Oklahoma had 28 points, Kirk, in the first 17 minutes of this game. They've only added a field goal to that since. And now, suddenly, for Oklahoma's offense, things get a little interesting. What will they do? Will Loxley get aggressive with the passing game? Will they try to work on the clock, fearing there's a whole bunch of flags, by the way, after the touchback?
Now it's getting a little bit chippy here, which it has for much of the night. A little more chippy, yeah, you're right.
This was a non-play. It was a touchback way in the end zone, and guys still got involved.
The result of the play is a touchback. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 31 of the kicking team.
It's Keaton Anderson. Wiley incredulous.
Well, he called it on
the
Oklahoma.
unsportsmanlike conduct foul was on number 31 of the receiving team.
After
this is for the goal.
He called it actually
down.
on Oklahoma, but it is on Alabama, Keaton Anderson.
You see it in the middle here.
Right here, 31.
That's completely mindless play there on a touchback. And it backs the offense up to the 12-yard line. Since they built the big lead, it's very obvious that Saban has not been pleased with the focus of his football team. Good reason.
First time tonight, the Sooner crowd becomes a factor, and they're right in front of Tua and the Alabama offense.
Damian Harris, he started but hasn't made a real big impact since. Runs for 7.
You asked, what will Mike Locksley do? You know, now there's a little bit of urgency. He's gone back to that 2 tight end look. At 12 personnel with one of the backs. This time it's Damian Harris. He's got a couple tight ends in this formation. Henches on one side, Irv Smith on the other. Actually, they're together now on the right side there.
2nd and 3. It's a pop pass to Ruggs. Sooners had it strung out. He still finds a way to navigate for a first down to the 25.
Caleb Campbell did his job with those 2 tight ends. He did get upfield, which is his job, to be able to force Ruggs back underneath, hoping that linebackers and safeties would be scraping, but just enough effort there by Ruggs and a good block by Damian Harris to give them that first down and get them away from their own goal line.
Harris, and the explosive play by the Oklahoma offense, perhaps giving energy, Kirk, to a defense that's playing shorthanded. They've already lost a couple starters who are not out there tonight at the moment. Barnes, Bledsoe.
Yeah, they've had Field step in at safety. These linebackers tonight, these inside linebackers, Bolton 18 and Kenneth Murray. When Alabama's tried to run the ball, D-line trying to eat up those blocks, trying to free those backers up. They're going to have to step up here, especially late in this game.
Bledsoe has been able to come back into the game now in this series. They fake it to Damian Harris. Tua on the roll finds Judy, who is going to be knocked down from behind. First down to the 45.
Yeah, see, that's there anytime they want that. That is a great matchup. Watch off to the left. Norwood giving him about a 12-yard cushion, which is a dangerous thing to do with Jerry Jeudy and an accurate thrower like Tua. Watch him work to the inside. Norwood kind of anticipated an out route, but still, because of that soft coverage and that cushion that he gave him, no way he could prevent Jeudy from making the catch.
Jeudy becoming Alabama's 2nd Biletnikoff Award winner to the top receiver. Looks like Amari Cooper is also a South Florida native. Tua has spread the ball around tonight. Gallo and Diane, his parents. I don't want to say that Gallo was fired up, but 2 hours before kickoff, before anybody else was around him, he was locked in that seat. 6:20.
6:20. He's ready to roll.
He was ready. Working on the gum.
Yeah. He just said to his wife, 4th quarter.
They've got 4 fingers in the air. Players from both sides do as well. Alabama was able to outscore or be out. The prize will be earned on the field a week from Monday. Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Clemson did its job earlier today. A rout in Arlington of Notre Dame. Will it be the Tigers and the Tide again, or will Oklahoma complete one of the great comebacks in postseason history? Tide begin the final quarter with a 2nd and 4. Tagovailoa avoids the blitz, and Smith streaking. First down inside the 30. Tua took a big shot but did his job.
They walk Bolton out to the outside. The inside linebacker, he's trying to get to Tua. The only problem is it leaves one linebacker in the middle, so there's a lot of space for Tua to work. He sees that blitz, knows he's going to get hit, gets the ball out of his hands quickly, and how about the route by Devontae Smith? gives him a little step to the outside, then back to the inside, and Tua is willing to take that hit for those yards.
He got 21 of them. Smith, the hero, against Georgia with that last touchdown. Hot start tonight here. Najee Harris still running. And he's got yardage inside the 20, close to the marker.
That was a big-time throw by Tua. In such great command, this offensive line opening it up, and Najee Harris, big physical back at 6'2", 230 pounds.
Enormous sequence here, Kirk. If Oklahoma can somehow keep him out of the end zone, force a field goal, it would still be a two-score game. It's a low throw and a sliding catch made at the 10-yard line by Waddle.
Yeah, you know, they've thrown so many quick slants that I'm surprised Oklahoma hasn't changed their alignment and given these receivers more inside leverage, try to take away those slants by their alignment. They're not changing from the very first play. It was a run pass option. They hit a quick slant for big yards, but they're continuing to line up head up and giving the inside away to the Alabama receivers. They should move into the inside.
OU crowd at that end trying to make some noise, make it tough on Tua.
It is again.
Pressure off the edge, easy pitch and catch. Tua beats the blitz. Smith, touchdown.
I mean, we just talked about how the middle of the field, when you don't take away the quick slants, you got one of the most accurate quarterbacks we've seen play college football in a long time, and you're giving him the quick slant. They brought the safety blitz. You're leaving a corner on an island. Very, very tough thing to do. And another great route again by Devontae Smith, who's now healthy after this month layoff.
And that is a grind to get another look at this hit. This was Outland Trophy winner and Heisman Trophy winner. It was high and it was physical.
Yeah, that's so. See, Samia comes in. I mean,
North Carolina, who's attempted just 17 passes all year, is in. So Williams hit, lost the helmet. Then Drew Samia tried to pay Williams back, and he added some friendly fire to that. Sermon bumps right into that defensive line, loses a couple. Laura?
The Oklahoma athletic training staff obviously worried about Kyler Murray. They keep asking him if he's okay, doing a couple quick tests. He keeps saying, I'm good, just let me go back in the game. And as you can see, out there on the field with his helmet once again.
Raekwon Davis inspired after that tackle for loss. This Alabama defensive line still plenty salty, up 18.
Jennings is down.
There's Davis.
Raekwon Davis is kind of the one of the emotional sparks for this defense.
Massive force was how Tosh Lupo described it.
6'7", 316, playing defensive end. Probably hadn't had quite the year they had hoped to have, but can flash at any moment for this defense.
He's a big game player. He was massive against Georgia in the championship game. So Murray, now just the one play, but he inherits a 3rd and 10.
Got him.
Yeah, that was Quinnen a little eager there.
It's a good job. Good time on 3rd down, knowing that defensive front's in a sprinter stance. Good job with that hard clap to
Offside.
Get the defensive line.
Number 92, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, there was zero dip in intensity on the defensive side for Alabama. Now it's 3rd and 5. Murray across the middle into traffic, tried to get it to Calcaterra, but Xavier McKinney broke it up.
I thought, and I think Lincoln Riley thought the same thing. They thought that Quinnen Williams jumped again there, but pretty good effort here by McKinney to keep his right arm off of the receiver and get the left hand in and knock the ball away from Calcaterra from making that play. Lincoln Riley wanted that offsides call.
Well, they didn't go for it inside the 9 twice. Now they're going to go for it at their own 25. It's 4th down. Got to make this to have any reasonable chance. And it's caught. And that's Rambo. And Rambo caught the touchdown. Makes a crucial catch on 4th down, moving to the 35.
Yeah, kind of a scissors route or crossers. Wind up from the right and left, a mesh route where they create kind of a rub or a pick. And once again, Rambo gets free and comes up with a big play to keep Oklahoma's hopes alive on that 4th down.
Murray wanted to take a shot downfield, now escapes in a whole lot of room, and he finally slides down near the 40. Covers ground in such a hurry.
I don't know what's going to happen and how this game's going to end, but how can you not love Kyler Murray and his competitive spirit? He gets hit by the baddest man in college football, Quinnen Williams, and it was a big-time shot. Goes out for a play, comes back out, and he's still fighting.
He's still firing down the field, almost intercepted. McKinney with those long arms went up high, and Murray way back, 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's looking again. Who's going to make a play for me? Rambo's been making some plays. We know about Lamb. He kind of throws this one and hopes that the bigger Calcaterra at 6'4" can go up and have a chance at it, but he overthrows it. And he's very fortunate that McKinney, who's a great safety, kind of that ultra safety, plays everything for them, kind of like a Minka Fitzpatrick type of guy, comes up just not able to come up with that interception.
Sermon running back, short gain. It'll set up 3rd and 7. Inside of 11 and a half minutes. Oklahoma still a flicker of hope if they could find the end zone in this possession.
Yeah.
Sermon out of the game now. We're already so thin at that running back position. Only Sermon and Brooks.
Marquise Brown actually back in the game down at the bottom of the screen.
So receiver Miles Tees in the backfield. He's going to block the blitz. He's going to do so at 5'9", 171. Tide are showing pressure. Better get rid of it, hurry. They do, and a catch made nicely by Lamb on the slant. 1st down inside the 25.
He took a while to survey that defense, and then eventually he sees the hole and where he wants to throw the football. It's about trying to find that matchup. He saw Deontay Thompson, his safety, coming, left a vacancy, and he makes the throw right into that hole.
Tide barely got lined up before the snap, and now it's Lamb, guarded by Surtain on the sidelines. No flag.
Surprised they didn't throw a flag there. Looking back at that play, AT&T pylon cam, a lot of touching and pushing by the corner. Surtain, the ball underthrown. Surtain never sees it. Usually that's an indicator that a flag is going to come in, but they decide not to throw it.
Right along the OU sideline, and certainly Lincoln Riley wanted a penalty. On 2nd and 10, he's hotly pursued. That was Mack Wilson off the blitz, has to fire it into the ground. 3rd down now.
Mack Wilson came on the blitz, and he wanted to try to bait that defense, and he just did not quite have enough time to get the ball out to Brooks. This play needs a little bit more time to be able to get those linemen out, get the back in position, but good timed blitz that time by Mack Wilson.
Murray, when he's been under pressure this year, still a 60% passer, but this is more pressure than he's been used to seeing. Right there, Lamb left alone on the sideline, makes the grab. 1st down. In front of Surtain that time.
Yeah, they're going after Surtain, who's a talented player, but still a freshman. 2 against 2. Nice job, well timed. He knows that he's going to be able to throw that ball back. Maybe they gave him one back there, Chris. You're kind of giving me a shove.
A little bit of shove off.
A little push off.
You can see the strength of
tick
Lamb.
For tack. Yeah.
Murray, fake to throw, could not escape. Great tackle by Thompson, the emotional leader of that secondary.
There's a one-on-one play for Thompson against Murray.
He's the guy. They gave him 2 late touchdowns, Kirk, against Arkansas, and he wasn't having it. He kept the DBs in the locker room as the buses were getting ready to leave the stadium.
Well, they lost their top 6 defensive backs from last year's championship team coming into this year, most notably Minka Fitzpatrick, and you're wondering who would become that alpha, that leader, and Thompson's definitely, along with McKinney on the back end, helped out.
2nd and 9, they flip it to Brooks. It's a race to the edge, and the gain is short. Surtain forced him out. 3rd down. We need about 7 here.
It's a long drive by Oklahoma. 13 plays now and 71 yards.
Not their usual MO, is it?
No, it isn't. But the reason I bring that up is Alabama doing the best job they can of rotating bodies, especially up front, trying to get some depth. Mathis has been in there. Ray has been in there trying to help out, trying to stay fresh in this heat and humidity in the 4th quarter.
2 plays to get 8 yards. Got to go to the 3. Or the 2, I should say. Under pressure. Throws off his back foot. Strike. Touchdown. Oklahoma still has life. It's CeeDee Lamb.
Now, I put the indicator there on CeeDee Lamb because they've been going after Patrick Surtain this entire drive with Lamb. That's almost just an option route. He's just kind of sizing him up on the route, waiting, and there's the anticipation. That ball is thrown before Lamb actually breaks to the outside, and Surtain never sees the ball, and Kyler Murray's dad, Kevin, is feeling it, saying, hey, we're still alive. Still alive.
Kevin, a quarterback coach, a former quarterback himself at Texas A&M. Oklahoma showing a lot of grit. Down 11. Can they get a stop against the Tide, though?
And all 3 at Patrick Surtain, the freshman corner.
Could be a tricky onside kick. Callum Sutherland, the other kicker, comes into the game. See if he can get the big hop. Right at the hands team, but right at number 31 for Alabama. And Bryce Musso makes the recovery.
Now they try to catch Alabama napping, hoping for that tricky hop, and just hops right into the hands of Keaton Anderson, the safety.
I should say.
Adjusted late. Alabama expecting it. Does a good job recovering it.
So Tua and the Tide once again protecting and trying to add to an 11-point lead, take over in Sooner territory. Najee Harris, fresh legs, but nowhere to run. That was a great job by Ronnie Perkins, the young defensive lineman, pressing the duty, making a play on the edge.
Boy, you go back to that last series with Tua. You're talking about just all year, him seeing things, feeling pressure. Here anticipating, kind of knowing he's going to get hit by that linebacker blitz. Here on the touchdown pass, they try to disguise Fields coming late. Little play action, he looks away, comes right back to, again, the quick slant and a touchdown. Just in command and in control of this offense tonight.
The official stat keepers, Kirk, have Bama with 3 drops. That's kind of harsh judgment given the difficulty of Judy's catch in particular, but Tua has only 3 incompletions tonight, 21 of 24. Najee to the edge with momentum, blast down inside the 30 as the Tide threaten again.
Nice block here by Irv Smith, helping set the edge. You're also going to see wide receiver coming in from the outside. Derek Keith picks up a block there. Now you get the ball to the outside, and the big fella gets a chance to build up some momentum. Good blocks there. Irv Smith, known as an outstanding receiver, has improved so much as a blocker at tight end.
Jacobs and Najee Harris now flanking Tua. And let the clock wind down near 7 before snapping this. Jacobs in the flat, gets a block from Judy and is knocked down at the 15. First down again.
Yeah, right now Mike Locksley is mixing it up very well between the run, stretching this tired Alabama or this Oklahoma defense out wide. You know, it's one thing you can stretch them out wide, you can run up into the middle, and he can also throw the ball in the quick slants. Mike Locksley, the offensive coordinator, of course, has taken the head coaching job at Maryland. He's been focused on this game, and he's hoping to have a chance at a championship before he heads over to Maryland to take over as the head man.
It's been a big theme, hadn't it, in the playoffs recent years. The coordinator carousel. Guys who gotten their next job at unfinished business, sticking with the tie for the playoff run. Tagovailoa to Smith, who began this game with an electric play, and he's been the most featured receiver tonight. It's like Oklahoma spending a timeout here. Alabama used about 2:21 on this drive. 6:10 to play. Tide closing in on the championship game. See if that proves costly on the drive. It's 2nd and 8. Tua's got it again. Nope. Judy's got it over the middle. Touchdown, Tide. Doesn't matter.
If Brent Venables is watching this, I'm guessing he's going to take away the inside slant, because tonight it's been open from the first play to this drive right here with 6:08 to go, and Tua has made Oklahoma pay. He had to always throw it downfield. We'll go back and look at this film. I want you to count up how many times they hit a quick slant. It's been at least 10.
Tua's one subpar game playing here against Georgia probably cost him the Heisman Trophy. In 26 days after that innovative ankle surgery, he has come out 24 of 27, 318, and 4 touchdowns. That's it.
And when he gives you this look, Chris, you've got to react. Linebackers have been active against the run. They have to react to that play action. Look, you can't just sit back. You have to respect it, and you have to come forward. And when you come forward, it creates a huge opening behind those linebackers without a safety, and it's just pitch and catch with an accurate quarterback who makes the read and quick receivers who get separation. It's just you're going to lose that battle on defense.
And Judy won the Biletnikoff, but he was representing a very deep and talented receiving corps. His touchdown, Devontae Smith has a touchdown, Ruggs has a touchdown, that tremendous catch. Jacobs has cut one out of the backfield, so the ball being spread around.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. In the past, it used to be Julio Jones and some guys. It was Ridley and guys. I mean, they've always had Amari Cooper and a bunch of guys. This is different this year. You've got 4 all that can make you pay if you pay too much attention to Jerry Jeudy or any of the others, plus the tight end, Irv Smith.
Yeah, you're right. Venables has a lot to focus on as every Alabama opponent as we begin to take a look at yet another Crimson Tide collision in Santa Clara for the championship. Pledger has a gap. Ooh, nice tackle, prevented a bigger return. It was Keefe on that tackle. Very early wake-up call tomorrow as we head out to Pasadena, meet with the Huskies and the Buckeyes to set you up for the Rose Bowl.
Can't wait to see the grass.
LSU and UCF precedes that at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Texas, Georgia, 8:45 Eastern time, also on Tuesday.
It's the time of the year, right? Take a knee in the corner of that end zone in the Rose Bowl, and this, man, is the best setting, not just in college football, best setting for me in sports.
Best place in the world for you, I think.
I think you're right.
Well, wide open receiver there is Nick Basquin, seldom used, and they forgot about him in a huge play down inside the 40.
See, that's what'll drive Nick Saban crazy. I mean, he's happy to be up 45-27, but a busting coverage. Baskin just running free, nobody accounting for him, and he goes right down the field and picks up huge yards.
Murray has a whole bunch of time against a 3-man rush. He thinks 2 or 3 times about running. He's still thinking about it, and he will take off. And finally, just a tentative slide. He gets yardage inside the 30 for a first down.
The Alabama crowd is reacting to the block that was on Quentin Williams as Murray was scrambling. There was a block there by Cody Ford. And I think Quentin Williams, more than anything, might be gassed just from running around and chasing.
How could you not be after
Kyler Murray?
I mean, Murray extended the play again and again. Is he going to run? Is he going to throw? He didn't know. And Williams is on the field way back at the Oklahoma 45. Inside 5.5 to go. 18 points. You got to reach the end zone and figure another onside kick attempt if they can score here. Murray, meanwhile, he's on the verge of a 300-yard passing game, 2 touchdowns, and he's run for 111. He's doing his part tonight.
Oh my gosh.
And Kirk
so impressed by his effort tonight and not giving up. Think about how this game started.
Yeah, 28-0.
I mean, in the blink of an eye, they were done. And there's a very good chance some teams would just shut it down. And Murray and this team, they have definitely played with some energy and not gone away. They continue to fight even with 5.5 to go.
So the best player on the sidelines, Bama's defense. Line on their depth here, and there's a slant. Normally he's as accurate in that throw as Tua is. Just about. That one was behind Morris.
Yeah, and remember the last drive that they had? I mean, they went to the left side. They had CeeDee Lamb matched up against Surtain, and it worked for them. You know, they went there time and time again, and right now they've got trips into the top, into the boundary there at the top of the screen. And Lamb up at the top, and he is matched up again with Surtain.
Murray ducking under, somehow stays off the ground, and now they're saying no, he did touch the ground. Raekwon Davis was there in a hurry, ripped his helmet off. Irate they didn't call it a sack. He's going to earn a penalty for that. It was a kind of a delayed decision by the official to spot Murray down.
I'll be honest with you, man. I've always bragged on Alabama not playing where they lose their cool.
Rolling on the field as the ball carrier's knee was down.
But it wasn't.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 99, correction, 99 on defense, taking his helmet off, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
He's so close. Did he think it touched the grass?
Yeah, I think that the left knee maybe just barely did touch. It's close. Yeah, there, I don't know, maybe not.
From that angle, I think he stayed up somehow. Let's see.
This is the angle that looks like it. Yeah, I don't think it did. But I was going to say, Alabama, you know, over the years with Nick Saban in Tuscaloosa, they've beaten people up, but they've always played within the rules. And if a guy doesn't do what he's supposed to do, if he gets a penalty like that, you know, he sits down next to Coach Saban. This team's been a little bit emotional tonight.
That ball's tipped at the line, but Rambo comes up with it and dives down inside the 10. Oklahoma just won't go away.
Yeah, Dylan Moses went up as a linebacker, 32, right in the middle. He shows blitz, kind of sits there as a spy, got a hand on it, and Rambo, who's had a heck of a night tonight, comes up with good concentration with a big catch.
Davis and that frustration, that 15-yard penalty for taking his helmet off to argue, looming huge here. Ball at the 8. Murray escapes again. More helmets on the ground. He dances in. Flags are everywhere as the action in the pit is just boiled over at this point. Let's see if the touchdown counts. Creed Humphrey, the center, the freshman, had his helmet ripped off. Flags came out. Murray, meanwhile, was dancing toward the end zone. Let's sort this out.
Well, his helmet came off. The center, Creed Humphrey's helmet came off, and he kept blocking.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense, number 30. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Yeah, Mac Wilson, the reason his helmet came off, Mac Wilson came in high right at the face mask of the center, right there. He hits him and then he engages and hits him right in the head and throws his helmet off. That's a freshman that's going to keep blocking.
And Murray is going to keep running, and because it was knocked off, he can stay in the game and snap for the PAT. It doesn't come off for no reason, does it, that helmet? It is getting even nastier by the play. But the bigger point is Murray, another spectacular overall performance on a touchdown drive. And the Sooners still, if they kick this point, within 11.
Surprised, yeah, they wouldn't go for 2 to get it, try to get it to 10.
11 still technically a 2-score game.
Yeah. Go back and show you center, middle linebacker 30, just off to his left, comes in. Nobody to count for Murray. And everybody drops back. deep into the end zone. You're thinking, of course, you got to be able to. Somebody's got to be spying on Murray, but Murray continues to impress. 17 carries now tonight, 109 yards rushing. He's thrown for 308, so 417 total yards, and he's got 3 touchdowns, 2 through the air and 1 on the ground. That last one.
And Murray now over 4,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards in the season. Until now, Deshaun Watson, the only player to do that. Speaking of guys who gave the Crimson Tide defense some fits. Boy, these two quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner on the left, runner-up on the right, have both been exceptional. Murray against much tougher defense, to be honest.
Oh, of course. But Tua back to being the Tua that we all watched all year prior to some of the injuries that he had to deal with. That surgery, an incredible success to be able to allow him to play tonight and play the way he did. But it's not just Tua, it's that line, it's the receivers, it's the group around him.
Big onside kick now from the 50, Kirk, because of the penalty. 2 kickers there, so they're trying for some deception. Cyber with the fake, they get a bounce, it doesn't go 10 yards. It's recovered there, that's Carson Meyer, but didn't travel the needed distance.
The thing is, if he would have let that go, all the Alabama receivers, they all went to block. They all went to block.
Touching by the kicking team. The ball did not go 10 yards when possessed. Alabama football, first down at the spot of illegal touching.
Watch Deontay Thompson at the top, and the rest of these receivers, they all go to block. If he lets that go, there's nobody left back to be able to receive the ball other than Ruggs, who's way back.
Riley says, oh, great point. See, that you try for deception with those 2 different kickers, and it fooled Alabama. They didn't communicate well on that side at all.
No, they all went to try to take on the coverage team.
Quick shot of Shane Beamer. Frank's son is part of the Orange Bowl Hall of Fame class on the sidelines there. And now Damian Harris cuts back, running strong. He's had a couple of touchdown runs tonight, and he's into OU territory. Well, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by the participating universities, Allstate makes a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you to Allstate. Clock winding down now, inside of 4 minutes to play, 11-point game. And the Tide, no hurry, work on the clock. Got to tenderize that Sooner defensive front. Harris muscles forward, will be knocked down about 5 yards short.
You know, that defense, especially in the middle with Murray and Bolton, they haven't had a lot of plays off, and Alabama has the luxury of rotating backs in there. We've seen all 3 of them tonight. Josh Jacobs leads it with 13 carries. Damian Harris now up to 11. Najee Harris with 6. They've done a very good job of mixing those backs in and trying to keep them fresh, while the Oklahoma defense doesn't have that luxury.
Harris over 3,000 career yards now. 2nd and 6. Sooners crowding the line. And Harris knocked down. A lot of little subplots involved in this final Alabama possession, with the lead sitting at 11. And you got 79 points on the board. Which also may be of interest to some folks. I figured this would be a very high-scoring bowl game, and it has been, thanks to Oklahoma's fight back. For post-game show coming up right after the game, including the Capital and Orange Bowl trophy presentation. They give out trophies at the bowls when they're semifinals, and the trophies are valuable. It still seems kind of odd to receive a trophy when the ultimate game, comes in 9 days' time. The real trophy.
What do you think? It's like an AFC Championship trophy or NFC Championship trophy?
I know why they do it. And for Kyler Murray, Kirk, again, Oakland A's drafted him number 9 overall, $4.6 million. If he doesn't play baseball, it could cost him a couple million of that. He hasn't gotten all that money yet. The expectation is, talked to Billy Beane this afternoon with the A's, that he will be there in March and begin a career that could start in high single A ball. In the meanwhile, on this third down, Tua keeps it, slides. You got to be careful when you do that, not to begin your slide in front of the marker. We've seen many college quarterbacks do that with the rule change this year. But he did make the right decision, as he has done all night. He got it.
Yeah, when they slide with their feet, it's where the ball is when they start to slide. And so, you know,
I don't know.
That very easily could have been reviewed and maybe a half a yard short.
Maybe it still can be, because he began the slide. It's where the football is. You're right. And I don't know that it got all the way to the first down. They don't stop it. It is a first down. And it's important. That would have been a fourth down play.
Oklahoma doing everything they can to try to rip that ball out.
I don't really understand sometimes the hesitation on that button in the replay booth. There was a massive case of that in the Cotton Bowl earlier. Dabo Swinney had to effectively call a timeout to get a review. It was a crucial play early in the game. That right there, if they'd looked at that, they might have spotted the ball short of the first down. Again, OU still would have needed to stop on fourth down. As it is, spend the last time out here, 2:15 to go. If OU cannot create a miracle, they will lose a playoff semifinal for the third time, and they will have given up, Kirk, 500+ yards to their opponent in all 3 games. This one very different, though. The other 2 games, here against Clemson, and of course last year against Georgia in the Rose Bowl, they had leads at the half, and then they got outplayed badly in the second half. Opposite tonight.
Totally opposite, and we could start to think about the game that a lot of people kind of forecasted back in August, with Clemson and Alabama once again meeting for a championship.
Jacobs, what has been a very satisfying night for him, is still running real hard. He moved the 6 again. That puts it at the 25, and that should just about clinch it if it wasn't before. So January 7th, to the Bay Area we go. The championship game presented by AT&T at Levi's Stadium, home of the 49ers. And it'll be Clemson and Alabama if the Tide can bleed out the last 2 minutes for the 4th consecutive year. They come up with a catchy nickname. What do you call it? The quad? I mean,
I don't know.
The trilogy?
I don't know.
Stands at 2 rounds to 1 in favor of Alabama going there. They've split, of course, the 2 championship game meetings. Jacobs still running hard down inside the 10. It's 1st and goal. He wants another touchdown. He's smiling, but not yet satisfied.
Be interesting to see what Nick Saban does here. He's already taken off his headphones and clapping his hands, which usually he does not do until the game is officially over. So that would tell me that maybe they're going to take a knee here at the 6-yard line.
Well, Oklahoma scored on all 4 of their second half possessions, a field goal and 3 touchdowns, but it was not enough to overcome what was a 28-zip lead for Bama in the first 17 minutes. And it's victory formation. Tua takes a knee. What a performance from the Heisman runner-up. 24 of 27, 318, 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers.
Great night for Alabama. Came out determined, played with a lot of energy early in this game. You could tell they were tired of hearing about Oklahoma's offense and Kyler Murray and a potential shootout, and they came out and kind of took the fight to them early. And I would also say that Lincoln Riley and the Sooners should be proud of their team. Down 28, fought back and gave themselves a chance there in the second half to make it a competitive game.
Alabama finally subdues the Sooners and books their spot in the national championship game. Chance for Nick Saban to go for his 7th national championship. He's with Maria.
All right, Coach, you never know how your team is going to respond after they've had about a month off, but you started fast, never relented the lead. What would you describe this focus as coming into the game?
Well, you know, I'm really proud of our team. It's a great win for us. Oklahoma's got a great program and a great team, a great offensive team for sure. A lot of weapons, a lot of firepower. There's a lot of things that we could do better. We got a lot of untimely penalties in this game that really either extended drives for them or stopped us. So there's a lot of things that we need to focus on to improve.
For the 4th straight year, you're going to the national championship. What has impressed you about the way this team has taken the approach to the game of football?
Well,